All right, we live, we live. Hey, Rolling
Hey,
Out family. I am very excited to introduce you to an amazing group. Rebel Wild is the Chicago based collective of eclectic artists who have joined forces to create music that speaks to the authentic spirit of rock and roll with a twist. Built from the power and fight of their ancestors, the love and sincerity of their sounds sonically resonates with all who love great music. Now, before we get into this, first of all, shout out to Rebel Wild. What's good, everybody?
Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, yo,
hey,
yo. Before we jump into this, man, you guys are amazing. I just want to get that out there right now. I saw the world tour, the Rebel Wild Punk World Tour. Amazing. I saw
yeah,
Chase at an amazing performance at a Dilla tribute. Amazing. So I've been wanting to have this conversation for a whole year because it'll be a whole year since I've seen you, like next month. That's
Like
crazy.
legit all year,
Like
legit.
a whole year, right? Well, before we get into this, could everybody just take a moment to introduce themselves and introduce the band?
Absolutely. I'll go first.
Mhm.
So, my name is Lauren Chase, and I am the lead singer of Rebel Wild.
um, I'm Dre. Might look a little funny on the name here, but I'm Dre. Play bass for Rebel Wild.
And I'm Dio. I'm the drummer and whatever else needed for Rebel Wild.
Word up. So is everybody here? Is there anybody missing or?
And then,
That's what
last but not least, yeah, we want to introduce. So we call him Maya Hendricks because he's like everything on guitar, but he is missing in action right now because he had a gig. But we miss him and we really wanted him here. But he's gonna be on the other stuff that we do. So
Word up. Well, I mean, we'll definitely be talking again, so we'll make sure that he's involved for sure.
yeah.
Wow. So let me just go ahead and jump into this. Talk about. I need to hear the origin story. Talk about the origin story of Rebel Wild. Who can take that one?
So I will take that. Um, so the origin, I basically have done a lot of singing around Chicago, and for me, I was still trying to find my sound personally, and so like I was really like transitioning over time. And one day it just hit me like, oh my God, rock music just feels so good. And so what ended up happening was considering the rock sound and like smashing together that hard hitting with the softness. And some of it, I would say, represents masculinity and femininity as well, the hard with the soft. That's how we came up with the name Rebel Wild, because we are like for our people, Black people, revolutionaries. And it just really took time and spirit, and energy is what brought like the super group together. That's what I call it, the team together. And so that's pretty much the origin. And like since then, we have been doing shows around the Chicagoland area, and we would literally do like R&B soul shows. And like when we
Mm-hmm.
start playing, people would be looking like, oh, what is this? But then like as they heard us play more, by the end of the night, like they would literally form like mosh pits. And these are people who were like on some, I literally came to see a soul show and I'm getting this and I actually receive it. So we've just been blessed to touch people who we never thought we would touch.
So wait,
And it's
Chase, they were stage diving in Gators.
You know what? Yeah, like legit stage we actually had some church people that we performed in front of, and like they were going, wow. So, it's really odd. It is odd, but it's beautiful. And that's how we know like that the energy of this music, it belongs to us. So we choose to keep it going, basically. And if
That's cool.
anybody wants to add to it, I'm gonna step out.
Well, I wanted to take a moment just to uh, toss this out to the room. You know, you talk about the energy of the music and it belongs to us, and that's 100% true. Anybody who knows knows. Now, when you're in those R&B rooms, I know there's a specific sound that's going on right before you go on. How would you guys describe the Rebel Wild sound?
I literally, when I've talked to folks, it's just more like, be patient. You're not ready. No matter what you think, you're not ready. Period.
Dio, what you say to that?
Man, Rebel Wild is a mixture of rock, some metal, some R&B. It's really a conglomerate of everything. Honestly, like stylistically, we'll go anywhere. Like you said, like Dre said, like it's just something that you can't quite explain because of it being so unique and a combination of so much.
Rebel Wild is like the purest form of expression. It is when you want to go to a concert and just let your truest self go, but you're nervous because everybody else is around. Rebel Wild is the purity of that expression release.
So Rebel Wild, it gives you the permission
yes.
to be that.
It gives you permission to be free. And what I look at it as urban rock with a mixture of cathartic rock. And that's something new. But catharticism is what you get when you come to a Rebel Wild show. We always say, like, we're not working hard enough if we don't come off that stage sweating.
That's real.
Like, seriously, like when you come to a Rebel Wild concert, you have to prepare to get your calories burned by the end of the night.
So, hey, that's real, and that's the sign of a great show. I'm doing all this talking, but I just want to share with the people a little bit. Give me 1 second.
Oh yeah.
There are some epic shots in this.
This was a dope.
There's Maya.
No visual.
Shout out to Impact Studios. Hey, Chris.
Just the other day, you had your arms wrapped around me. You thought of me enough to say that you still care for me. I didn't want to leave you out, and I didn't want.
Yo, look, when I saw that, I mean, I was blown away. I really wish we could watch the whole thing, but I don't want to sit here. I mean, I could sit here and watch this again. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but I really want people to get to know you. But that is such an amazing performance. Talk about what was happening there. Like, what space were you guys in to deliver such greatness?
Oh man.
Well, I want to say shout out again real quick to Impact Studios. Chris. Him and his team did an amazing job. So the ambiance just really, like, the thing is, we're in COVID right now and we feed off of an audience. But the thing about it is that we actually have to be able to bring that energy, because in a lot of cases, because they're not familiar with the music, we have to bring that energy anyway. Mm-hmm. And so just imagining people actually being there and feeling us. Plus we had to represent, because like Punk Black World, like we were one of few Chicago bands but also one of like many bands across the globe. And so we knew we had to represent like really hard for Chicago. So we just really let it all loose for Chicago. That's how I best describe it.
Mhm.
Yeah. That performance, it was ethereal walking in. Um, Once again, shout out to Impact Studios. Um, Walking in, seeing the production in the finishing stages of being set up, smoke moving around, and I felt like a true rock star at that point. You know, we come in, we just got our gear, we just set up what we do. That's it.
Got
We
your
just set up.
COVID mask on.
Mhm. We can't take it off till we ready to perform, and we gotta wear ours. She thing.
Hey, all that shit was rock and roll. That's 100%. Everything about that was rock and roll. Now, Chase, you mentioned something in terms of representing for Chicago. Why is it important to have this black representation in rock music? And that's for all of you to answer.
Mhm. So I think it's very important to have the representation because going back to the foundation, like we started most, if not all, genres. And the thing about it is, we always start something and we get pushed out. It's just like a gentrification of our music.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the thing about it is that you always get to come back. And when you hear the calling to come back, you just have to stand still and listen and do it. Because I think the thing about, representing is also the visual. So, other Black people, especially Black youth who wouldn't think to delve into that type of music, it gives them like the idea to do it. Like it's okay for you to do it because, like how we will say, you know, being vegan, you eat white people food, or playing rock,
Mm-hmm.
playing white people's music. And like people have to understand this is our music, and it's important to have the representation. So that's why I personally was very adamant about ensuring that we pull together amazing Black bass player, an amazing Black drummer, an amazing Black guitarist, because we need that representation.
So this was intentional.
Very much so.
Oh yes, I appreciate that. What do you gentlemen have to say about that in terms of the importance of black representation?
Go ahead, Dio.
For me, it's definitely important because, like, just piggybacking off of what Lauren said, like, it's important that people know, that we have had influence pretty much in every style of music. So, for me, I had played in a rock band before. I'm a musician. I enjoy all types of music, and I believe that you guys can relate. Like, most Black people don't have an appreciation for rock. So, by us doing this, I feel like we're bringing this back to the forefront of Black people to see, like, okay, well, rock music is something that is, a style that we can connect to, not just hip hop, not just R&B, those type of styles. Even jazz music as well. Like, I think like rock and jazz are two styles of music that often get, pretty much just kicked to the back burner. Like, oh, that doesn't exist anymore. There's no value, when that's an art form of music. It's an art to play in rock music, it's an art to play in jazz music. So for me, it's just important to be able to be a well-versed musician and appreciate all styles of music, and rock music is especially a style that I believe is important, and that's why Rebel Wild is being what it is today, I believe.
When you say it, I'm glad that you bring that up because even as we talk about how jazz and rock are kind of uh, tossed to the wayside when it comes to our community, you can't help but hear it in every other genre.
Yep.
So, the reason that I know about so many jazz artists is because of hip hop. It's because of rap music. There are rock songs that I know because of rap music, because of R&B. So it is amazing to know that at the core, our expression is pure. So you really can't push it to the side, right? Because it's always there, right?
Yep. Facts.
So with that being said, when we talk about rock music, who are some of you guys influenced by musically?
I would love to take this.
Go ahead, Dre.
So this will kind of actually tie into an answer for the previous question as well regarding the importance of representation. Early, I'll say high school. I was brand new to bass, probably playing for 2 years, something like that. I ran into this band called POD. They're a faith-based rock collective and new metal specifically, but the bassist had locks and he's a black man. And this was the first time I'd seen a black man involved in metal. He's the bassist, and actually he's why I play the type of bass that I do now.
Wow.
And fast forward many years, I was in a band I was in previously to this called Sky Machine, and we were playing House of Blues. And in this band, I was nothing but the bassist and backup singer, but so many people saw my energy compared to everyone else and figured I was the lead of everything. And so, but where this becomes important is this House of Blues performance. I did my usual on stage. I got off, got to talking to people, and this one guy, one black kid, he came up and asked, hey, do you have a second to talk? And I didn't want to be rude to either people, but I knew it was important to talk to him because he reminded me of me many years ago. I am finishing up for about 10 minutes. I lose him in House of Blues. I'm running through the entire venue to find him. I find him, and this kid, he makes sure to let me know, I was tinkering around with bass, and I listen to a lot of rock music, but all my friends are white. All the people I listen to are white. And when I saw you on stage, I knew, okay, I'm actually going to get a bass and play. It's the first time I've seen myself in this industry, in music. And for that to come full circle, for us to come from me meet Trey Daniels, which is the guy from POD, which is actually what my name is based around. Trey Daniels, to me, being the inspiration for someone, like that is one of the top artists that I'd seen initially, but that because he also inspired me to inspire others.
That's so awesome. Who else have you guys been influenced by? That's a powerful story, by the way, Dre.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
I just to be really quick, because that was a long one. One of my biggest influences is a man named Ben Kinney. He's kind of like a black, like mixed guy, but he plays guitar, bass, drums, sings mains and backups for everything he does in his living room. And he's actually the current bassist of a metal band called Incubus. They're like internationally.
I'm familiar with Incubus, yeah.
So for him to be in that band, but to still do all his own stuff, and his music's phenomenal. It's groundbreaking for me. Big influence.
Awesome. How about you, Chase?
I'm gonna say Tina Turner. When I say performance, like the energy, performance, I get a lot of that from her. I do squats because of her and her legs. So I think Tina Turner, and if we consider, like Ike, like they were blues, they were rock. So that's my number one influence when it comes to rock music, for sure.
How about yourself, Theo?
There was a band I studied a lot that got me inspired to want to do rock by the name of the Memorials, and there was a drummer that they had named Thomas Pridgeon. He's from, I believe, the Oakland area, and I saw them play. I think it was the Elbow Room or some not main stage. I can't remember the name of the venue on the north side, but Thomas is like this fireball, amazing, just crazy, incredible energy of a drummer. And seeing him play with that band was life-changing. And that is probably my number one favorite rock influence.
Wow. You guys are naming these bands, and it's making me think back to when I first discovered that Black people did rock music. I was my freshman year of college at Illinois State, and my friend Jared Washington, he had this shirt on, and it had a fish on it, like a red, black, and yellow fish on it, and it was a group called Fishbone. He was from Kankakee. I'm like, wow, who are these people? And then after that, I heard Funny Vibes for the first time by Living Color. So Yeah, whenever I get on the elevator and a white person is looking at me crazy, I know they're giving me funny vibes. You know, it's a real thing. That still resonates with me right now. So and that message sits with me. So that brings me to my next question in terms of the messaging that you're looking to deliver through your music. What kind of message are you looking to deliver through Rebel Wild? What's the important message that you deliver through Rebel Wild?
So as a songwriter, I typically focus on what I think we need. I'm also a therapist. So, in having that duality, it's just like really sparking whatever that energy is that allows people to be cathartic. So we're talking about love. We're talking about, having your people's back. So IWKFU stands for I Will Kill for You. And that's really like getting back to that spirituality that the Haitians practiced during the Haitian Revolution, where they literally were jumping in cannons to save their own people. And
that's my heritage. I'm Haitian.
Oh, bless, brother.
Oh, I see. And that's inspiring to me because that is how we were when we were able to connect spiritually. We were able to speak life into each other, but also sacrifice for each other. And so this is the kind of music that I like to inspire in Black people because we've gotten really far away from that. And I think that now is the time with everything going on in the world. Like now is the time for us to really forge together, and the messaging and the music needs to speak that. And a lot of our messaging lately, like currently, and I guess sometime in the 90s on forward, I'll just say that some of the messaging has been it went away from storytelling about like what was going on in the neighborhood and reporting the things that other people globally weren't seeing, as far as like the injustices that were happening in the Black community. And like now it's really like, I guess pitting us against each other. And so for me, it's like the messaging is so important to like bring us together because we need each other and we need to know that.
Yes, and that's powerful. And I'm glad that you guys are here delivering this message with such amazing and powerful music and messaging. Somebody comes to you and says they've never heard your band before. What song would you say defines Rebel Wild? I mean, all of you don't have to share the same one, but what song would you say defines Rebel Wild?
Oh, wait. See, now, we one of our newest ones that we did is Stuck in the Middle. It's actually the video for what you started with earlier.
If somebody asked me, that's what I would say.
But there is, I will say this because there's an energy. The song that ends our set is called Faded.
Yep.
What is it called?
Faded.
Faded. The energy of that song is like from top to bottom. That song is probably like the essence of Rebel Wild. It's us having fun. It's us being in our element. It's us just driving home. And then you just kind of feel where the groove just takes you. And no matter what race you are, you feel that groove. You feel the spirit. Oh, stuff's about to get rowdy. And it's such I'm looking at every person in their eyes when I got my bass and it's time. I'm like, we're ready now.
That real connection right there, boy. Yes. Do all of you agree with that? Is Faded the one?
You pretty much could say that. Like you said, that the energy of that song, I don't think any of the other songs quite match the intensity of Faded, especially by that being the last one. It just has this, I don't know, it's just like this energy, and by it usually being the last song in the set, You know, I'm throwing drumsticks at the end. Dre is doing jumping jacks all over the stage. Chase is like, you know, she on the chandelier somewhere, you know, wherever we at. Maya going crazy. So it is that song. It just takes you to a whole nother place because like my temperament is different even on that song. Like I'm more of a laid back type person, but that kind of song is going to make you be different because it's an energy that it brings.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about because that music is energy, right?
Yep.
So Chase, you agree with that?
I totally agree. I think the set list is like a build up to the explosion.
Yeah.
And Faded is most definitely an explosion. And for the people who do not indulge in like drugs and alcohol, it makes you high. I will
So
definitely.
that's the one that's gonna get you faded. I like that you say that because there are certain songs that make me high. There's a song. I'm kind of dating myself now. I don't know if you guys remember a radio station called WNUA.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a song that I heard the other day. I think it's by a gentleman by the name of Dennis Brown. But whenever I hear it, I literally get high. Like I could never explain it. Like I kept playing it over and over. But that just speaks to the power of music and what it can truly do, and how it can affect our minds and our moods. So wow. So when do we see you guys live again? When is this happening?
Well, with the pandemic right now, we're actually focusing a lot of our energy in the studio.
Mhm.
We've got a lot of work to do, but we've got some good work to do. We already have one song done, and we have a few more to knock out. So hopefully, I would say around February, March, we'll be doing some kind of performance slash single and or video or um, record release.
So
So
wait, is there a name to the project yet? Do you have a name for it yet?
we have to flip a coin on that.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, we have to. The thing is, um once the music comes together, I think we wait until we work. So it's like once we put the work in and get all of the songs together, then it'll be easier to name the album that embodies everything. So we want to make sure we do this thing right because it's really about storytelling. So we want to make sure that we have the perfect title to the book that is able to introduce each chapter in a way that is just magnetic.
You're such a songwriter. Did you hear how she put that?
Yep. And she's a therapist too, man. All
And
her
she's a
wordplay,
therapist.
man. You know.
I freestyle all day, every day.
I
Mhm.
see you. I see you. So the album is gonna provide its own name. So I feel that 100%. If that's the way that I'm hearing that. So where can people find Rebel Wild right now? They want to hear some Rebel Wild. Where can they go?
They can go to our website. So our website is www.rebelwyld, and that's REBELWYLD.com.
Awesome. Did you guys want to share your Instagrams and Twitters and all of that?
Yeah. Well, I'll start with the Rebel Wild one. So the Rebel Wild one is at rebel.wild, and that's spelled with a Y, and you'll hear that in that song Faded. My personal one is Chase Music, but that's spelled CHAS Music. So
Awesome. Good. Did you guys want to share?
Yeah, Dre, you can go.
All right. Yeah. So my name, mine goes with it's just Damn Dre, DAMNDRA on Instagram. You can follow me on Twitter, but I don't use it.
Probably not. Okay.
And then for me, my Instagram is at DNaturalENT, and my Twitter is DEO Bradford on Twitter.
Yes. Wow. You guys, this was really an amazing experience. I want to thank you so much for taking out this time to speak with me. I'm so happy that I met you last year, Chase, and seeing you at that awesome performance at the Villa event. And I'm looking forward to the project, whatever the name is going to be. Also, I'm looking forward to COVID going away so I can come see you live and in person.
Oh
Definitely.
yes.
So thank you so much for this time. And as I always say to my Rolling Out family, stay focused, positive, and productive. Peace.
Peace.